This tutorial is going to show you how to use the archive and discard functions in the My Data Diary Plus tool. When you are entering information in the My Data Diary Plus solution, it is inevitable that you will unintentionally create duplicate records, one of which you'll want to delete, or create extra records that you do not need. For example, if I decided I didn't need that record, so the three dots on the right of any record, if you click there, will give you an option to archive that record, which makes it go away from your visibility. And in this case, I would want to archive the one that's blank. I can double check that there's nothing in there. This was a second record that I do not need. I'll double check that it has no database connections. I'm going to go ahead and delete that duplicate record. You no longer see them in the tool. That's because when you received your My Data Diary Plus tool, in the settings and preferences, Show Archive Data was set to No. When you are entering data in the tool, we recommend that you set this setting to Yes, because that will allow you, when you go back to that page where we just archived two documents, you can now see that those documents are archived by this file box icon that you see here. If you click again on the three dots when you have Show Archived set to Yes, you now have the option either to restore that record or to discard or delete that record. So I'll show you what happens if I discard or delete this record. It will go away. If I restore this record, it will again become a record fully visible and accessible in the solution, even if I change the settings back to Show Archived Record No, because it's no longer an archived record. Again, I'm going to archive this record. I'm going to go change that setting, Preferences, to Show Archived No, go back to Passwords, and now I only see one record for Amazon. If I return to Settings and Preferences, Show Archive Data Yes, return to Passwords, I now see that archived record. When a record is put in the archive, we essentially are putting it in the pantry and giving you the key to go to the pantry by changing your setting to Show Archive. When you discard or delete that record, it puts that record permanently in the attic in a format that you cannot reach. Once I discard that record, it's no longer visible and accessible to me. You can use the archive, restore, discard on any record that gives you the three dots. The other thing you can do, I'm going to show you on the household section. The other way you can use the record is in the event Missy passed away and I don't want to look at her record all of the time anymore, but I also don't want to lose her record. So I can retrieve it if I need to. In that case, I would archive this record and change my settings and preferences to No. So now when I go into the household section and pets, there's nothing there. But if for some reason I needed to restore that information so that I could see something contained in that record, perhaps the vet's information, I would go to Settings, Preferences, Show Archived Yes, return to the Pet section. And now that record is visible again to me because I am showing the archive. In this case, I wouldn't want to delete the record. I would just want to archive it so I could access it again in the future. There is one additional scenario where you will use the archive function. Just like you might have a pet pass away, you actually might have a situation where someone in your household passes away or a divorce situation occurs and you don't want to look at that person's information all of the time. In this example, we'll suggest that Mary Sample passes away. I certainly don't want to lose all of her information, but I also don't want to look at it each time I come into the tool. So if I click on the three buttons on her profile, and select Archive, and then change my settings in Preferences to show archived no. If I go back to Profile Management, I no longer see Mary in the Manage Profile section. If I navigate to a page that has a person picker, you'll see that I also no longer see Mary's information viewable in this view either. But if I want to go back or need to retrieve information related to Mary's record, I can go back to Settings, Preferences, Show Archived, Yes. I then see in the Profile Management that that archive is visible. And when I go to a page with a person picker, I can again access Mary's information. And if you had set a profile to archive accidentally, or you want to return it to an active profile, just like a regular record, you can restore that profile. We do not recommend that you discard or delete a profile unless you are 100% sure you will never again need information related to that person. You're much better off just archiving it, returning to Preferences, and showing Archive No. So as a reminder, when you're entering information in the tool, it's quite handy to set this to yes so you can easily delete errors that you make as you're entering a lot of information. But once your data and information is entered and stable, we recommend setting this back to no so that you're only looking at the information that is most current and relevant for your needs at this time. Those are the basics you need to know about archiving, discarding, and restoring information in the My Data Diary Plus tool.